I'm gonna press.
All right. You are live on Facebook.
All right, so we're just getting in here. So I'm just
Not
connecting.
on Instagram yet.
Yeah, it doesn't. Let me see here. Is it going? Is it going? All right, guys. Not on Instagram yet. I keep pressing go live, but it's not doing it. Hold on. Let me see here. Do. Create live. All
And I can
right, let
see
me
you
see
live on
here.
YouTube.
So I'm gonna, maybe this is a new stream key. Oh, but I put in the old stream key. It says we're having trouble streaming to Instagram. If you ended it on Instagram, then this is expected. So let me cancel. Let me try to put in a different stream key if it will let me. Um, let's see. Okay, we have to remove it and then add it again. And then edit the stream key. Somebody's watching this live on Facebook.
It's me.
Okay.
It's me.
It was just that one person. It was just you. There was one. There was another person. Okay.
It was me.
It was you. It's just
I'm
you.
on YouTube and Facebook, and at one point there was a second person on YouTube, but
Oh,
it
that's
dropped very
funny.
quickly.
Okay. So.
Oh yeah, now you're live on Instagram.
Now I'm live on Instagram.
Yep, I see you.
Okay. All right. All right, I did it. All right, so for those of you um, uh, who are just tapping in, so we are a little bit late here. So we're supposed to get started at 4:30, but technology, we're figuring out. So welcome to live intuitive readings with Yolessa. So uh, now I used to do this all the time, and I haven't done it in a minute. So if you're just seeing this, the way that this works is that if you want a reading, these are free readings, you can put your kind of questions, about your, any aspect of your life, your life purpose, relationships, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever it is. You can ask me anything. You can put your question in the comments, and I'll take questions on a first serve basis. I just need to make sure. So whatever, the common name, first name that you want to use, attach your first name. Make sure we have that first name with your comment, and I will be able to go ahead and do your reading. So while we are waiting for people to hop on, so I'm going to talk about like the general environment that we're in that kind of affects everyone from a planetary point of view. Now, for those of you who have done readings with me before, um, um, while I don't specifically necessarily like chart everything astrologically, what I do is kind of feel into the environmental energies and atmosphere of the earth, and I let everybody know about kind of what the energies are presently that are basically affecting everyone. So obviously, there's kind of, it's like we exist in um, a, a bubble where we have several different layers of energy that affects us, from the earth, the atmosphere, from, outer space, kind of the universe, planetary earth, land, and then also people, and the environments we're in with people and how they're affecting us. So looking at, June, July, what we would have experienced is kind of, what I'm being shown is kind of like a tornado type of effect. So when I say tornado type of effect, what I mean is that the energy that's like coming down right now upon the earth is very intense. So just like you'd have a swirl and a tornado coming down, it's like this intensification, and we feel it, and we're here. And the way it kind of shows up in our life is the intensification of the polarization of kind of light and dark, which means that as we begin to experience kind of more light energy coming in, right? As we begin to experience more light, more becomes possible for us. So if we're very focused and there are things that we want to do, and we know what we want, and we're able to pull that sincerely out from us, and we're able to take action toward it, then things start to happen for us, especially if we're following the messages and we're taking action on the messages. However, if conversely we're very scattered and our energy is going here and there, then it's kind of the dark side becomes like even darker and kind of more of a mess right now. So more than ever right now, the energy that we're particularly in, if we're going to take advantage of this kind of tornado take energy that can feel like chaos, but at the center is very calm, you need to kind of make a decision about exactly like what you want, what you want to do, where you want to go with it, to focus the energy precisely, so that it works specifically in that direction, kind of working for you, making things happen that you want. All right, for those of you that are just passing through and seeing this for the first time, it's been a while since I've done Instagram lives. These are psychic readings live. If you have a question or something that you would like a reading for, this is a venue or a space where I offer free readings to the public. My readings are very expensive. They go at $500 a piece. And I used to do this some time ago, and kind of the reason I stopped doing it is because I got so many questions, so many inundated questions for so long, that I felt almost like it became a little bit too much. But I'm very, very called. I've been called recently to come back and answer your questions, especially at this critical time, kind of on the earth and the crux in history. So if you have questions, about your life, about your career, about the direction you're going in, specific questions, you can absolutely kind of write your questions down in the comment. And I will answer them one by one. So welcome to Healing Jewelry, Sue Coleman. All right, it's Frismith. All right, Sedona Meditation Center, I see you. All right, welcome everybody. So again, this is Yolessa doing live intuitive readings on Instagram. So while we're waiting for kind of the questions to roll in, I'm going to continue talking about kind of the environment that we're currently in generally that's affecting everyone. So to talk more about that, so I'm just going to take a moment here. I'm going to take my breath in. I like to come into presence and out. And one more time, in and out. All right, so what I'm getting is that one of the things that wants to come forward, most especially, is about traveling at this time. Um, actually, a lot of people are going to feel kind of hesitant, or I'm not saying they're not going to travel, but you may feel like this is not the moment to like maybe move around as much as before, specifically because of things going on with the land. And this is true, like there's been earthquakes and fires and all kinds of things in different places, a little bit unsettling and unpredictable right now. However, when it comes to traveling, most especially I'm seeing veering toward like the West Coast. Um, um, it feels like the mid to west coast, of North America. It feels, and South America actually, it feels a little more treacherous. But if you are moving another direction, toward the east, it feels like you'll be okay, at least in the next about 3 months. All right. Hello, Michaela has joined. So, for everyone coming in, welcome. Welcome to Instagram Live with Yolessa. I had a little fudge there. So I'm doing live reading. So if you have questions or things that you would like to ask me, it can be a question, pertaining to your life purpose. It can be questions regarding your career, relationship, really just about anything. You can go ahead and type them in the comments. All right. So I'm going to keep going with my reading of the general environment. So I'm going to take again that breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Oh. All right. So reading into the general environment, what we can expect. So as we come to kind of the close, not quite a close, it's not, we're kind of midsummer, but it can feel like the close of summer because this is kind of the period when a lot of people start to return to school or their businesses or whatnot, once we get to the end of August, kind of what to expect. So even though it's obviously not wintertime, it feels like this is a bit of a dormant, I'm going to call this a dormant period. So when I say dormant period, it just means that it's like winter in the summer. So it's a time when things are resting and rejuvenating and sleeping. And it's just a time, even though we're in the midsummer, where you kind of have to wait it out before you're taking concerted action because again of this intensity. So you when I say concerted action, meaning like what do things do in the winter? They grow their roots, right? So the action you want to take is in growing the roots, and it's not so much the time for the leaves and the extreme going out in the expansion as I'm being shown. All right, welcome. It's Prismus. So I see your question here. So you've written, "Hi, I've been curious about my career, purpose, and relationships." All right. So let me see here. What is the message for you? I'm just going to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I'm just going to fall into silence for a moment. Here we go. So for those of you who are just joining, this is live readings with Yolessa on Instagram. These are free readings. If you have questions about your life purpose, relationships, really anything, you can ask them in the comments. We do first come, first served. All right. So it's Prismith. Let me see here. So when I go in, the impression I get of you, I see, so I get a lot of visions. And I see this person kind of walking, you're walking along and you're doing the things typically that you're supposed to be doing, but it feels like, um, I don't want to say drudgery because that's not exactly right. And it's not for lack of enjoyment, but it's kind of like you just keep going along with things, right? And it's like I see you along the street and along the sidewalk, and you keep going along with street things, and somehow the intent to keep going along with things, kind of as they are, is somewhat heavy. Like it's heavy, it's becoming a load. So normally you wouldn't think, oh, I'm going along with things. I'm just walking along the side of the street, following the road that has been laid out for me. You wouldn't typically think of following the road that's been laid out for you as a heavy thing. But when I see it, it's like you're carrying, by just following the road that was previously laid out for you. It's like a load is being carried, and it's getting heavier and heavier to keep following that road. So I really feel like the message for you, like you're gonna soon come to a juncture, and this is kind of a major juncture of deciding, am I going to follow the road that had been previously laid out for me? And that could have been previously laid out for you by, your parent. It could have been previously laid out for you by your job. It could have been previously laid out for you by anyone. However, it was laid out for you. This does not feel like a road that was followed, or rather created. It does not feel like a road that you built. And it feels like that's required at this moment. You're asking about your purpose, is for you to think about, if I had to build my own road, because I feel like you're ready to do that and like go through the forest and find my own way. What kind of road would I build? What would it look like? What would the stores be like on the road? What color would they be? It's like I want you to think of it. So you're thinking of your purpose like as a destination, but I'm being shown your purpose as a road, and you building all the things and all the features on the road, and you thinking about and building that road. So I feel like it's time in your life to go from I follow the road that somebody laid out to me to I'm creating and I build my own road and my own experience as I go along. And the purpose is the actual purpose, and the realization of the purpose is in the building itself, is in the choosing to be the creator and the builder itself. So I hope that helps you a little bit. It's Pris Smith, to understand kind of how to go forward from where you are now. All right. So welcome, Lita, I should say, Lita, welcome, my Dragonstone and CM, Levano 94. Welcome to Live Intuitive Readings with Yolessa. All right, so Healing Julie by K. Oh, she's asking a question. So health in my family has been frenetic and full of worries. Someone or something is breaking down. What can I do to help balance the household and keep it steady? All right, so let's see. I'm going to kind of take my usual breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. All right, so if you're here with me, and you're watching me, if you're watching this now, you're gonna want to take your breath in too. So this allows us to come into presence with the energy. All right, and I'm just gonna fall silent for a moment. Silent for a moment. It's very interesting. So I wouldn't have always, when I read, sometimes things that show up surprise me. So for Healing Julie by Kay, what I'm seeing is that you being in the environment of everything that's happening as it is, like people being sick and breaking down, is not so much, the messages in it is not so much about like okay, I need to take care of people, or I need to fix people, or anything like that. Actually, even that might seem like the organic conclusion, and one may be thinking, what is the message, in that conclusion? I'm actually feeling like the main thing that's kind of being like put right in front of you has a lot to do with self-care, and that the environment is reflecting to you, even though these aren't your precise situations. They're trying to reflect to you or show you about the need in your DNA, in your familial line, and for yourself around taking care of oneself. So it just feels like in the family, there's just been a lot of neglect around the health, and that the consequences that are being faced as a result, or the breakdown of these things, is long-term breakdown, of the refusal, in a way, to actually care for one's body. So I feel like the real lesson in this is the learning about the relationship to my body, that I have one body and that I need to take care of it. And in a way, it's a little bit of a scare tactic, or it's meant to make you kind of feel like, oh, I need to wake up and I need to do it. Do I really want to end up like this or be like this? And I feel like this is why you're like surrounded or in this experience. It really feels like it represents an opportunity. It's not so much in your reality, it's not so much about the other people, it's more about you and what this reflection is trying to, indicate for you about your own life. All right. So if you're just joining, I hope that helps. Healing Julie by Kay. And if you're just joining, welcome CLVR Stephanie. This is live readings with Yolessa. So the way that this works is that I do live free readings for you guys. And so if you have questions about your life purpose, if you have questions about your relationships, family, career, really just any part of your life that you're trying to get insight and understand more, I am here to answer them. Recently, I have been called. I did this a long while ago and haven't done it in some time. And I have felt so called recently to come and just really put out the opportunity for people to receive wisdom. My sessions run $500 an hour, and I would really like to make this process and the information, the precious information that comes through and can absolutely change one's life, available to everyone. So I will be doing these lives pretty regularly, you guys. I'll be doing them about once a week. And so, if you come in, most especially if you get on my email list, that you go to sedonahealingarts.com and get on our email list, and you receive emails to know when this live is happening, you'll have the opportunity to come in and get all kinds of free advice. All right, so it's Prismith. You're saying it did make sense. Thank you so much, Yolessa. Do you have any intuition about my relationship, romantic? So let's see. All right, so I'm going to take that deep breath in one more time. Everybody with me. All right, and breathing out. So, here we go. About your relationship, let me see here. So when I go in, the main thing I feel with your relationship, it's Prismith, is not that it's bad or any of those things. And I'm not sure what state. I feel like you have some kind of relationship, meaning romantic love relationship. But I'm not sort of seeing what kind of state it's in. It's more that the feeling is about relationships in general, that there is kind of a standstill. And the standstill has, so it's like when we come to a standstill, it's like we're going through the motions all the time, and we're kind of doing the things, but are we really connected to our partner? Is it really, is it really alive? Do I feel the fire, burning inside of me? And can I feel the passion? And I feel like there is not much fire or not much passion. And it's not that there is not potential for it to be there, but by going through the motions and just doing the things versus investing in the fortitude of the connection, which sometimes brings us a little bit into the asking questions area and the conflict, that examination, you've become a little bored. So, sometimes boredom leads us astray, and then our focus, goes all over the place, and we can start asking, like, what am I doing? Or is this really the relationship I want? Or, why are these people that I meet, like I'm not that into it. It's just not, it's not illuminating you or exciting you the way that you feel like it should, or the way it's not making you feel the way you want to feel. And the way for you to get back to that excitement and to that feeling is foremost through your connection with yourself and bringing out the utter sincerity inside of you and honesty about how you're feeling about relationships, and then to make a decision to change it and to move toward this kind of more honest intention and expression of them, and be willing to exist in that space where you're riding the waves, you're going up and down, but finally you're on the adventure and it's alive. So I feel like that's really the message for you. It's Prismith around your relationships. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, so Ruthie Ruthie, welcome. So this is Yolessa. My name is Yolessa, and I am doing live intuitive readings for you guys, live psychic readings. So I used to do these a long time ago, and it's been a while since I've done them. Recently, I feel like I've just been so called to kind of share with you guys. My sessions are expensive. They run $500 a piece. And if I can share and touch and give you some piece of information that can add direction, going forward, sometimes a year, 3 years later, still resonating in your life, then, I feel like I could make a difference. So, and it's Prism saying it does, and thank you. You are very welcome. All right, Stephanie says, I love you, Yolessa. I just want to say that how much I appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Stephanie. Welcome. All right. So, all right, so it's Christmas. You're saying, I appreciate your time and willingness to make a difference. Thank you, thank you. So I'm just gonna hang out for a minute more. If anybody has any last question they want to ask, before I go, just so you all know, I will be doing this regularly, about once a week. If you want to find when these Instagram lives are happening, please, please, please join our email list. You want to go to SedonaHealingArts.com and get on the email list. And then you will get notified as to when these events are happening. And as I mentioned before, you can ask about any area of your life. It can be your love life, your purpose, just really any area of your life. I want to provide insight and help you guys get to the other side and really attain what it is you really, really want. All right, so if there's no other questions, I'm going to say I love you guys, and get on the list, tell your friends, and I will see you next time on Instagram. Remember, go to SedonaHealingArts.com, get on the email list if you want future readings. All right, guys, until we meet again, bye.